Okay, so formally we are beginning our communicative English classes today. As I had already mentioned in the previous class, on last Sunday it was not a class, it was an orientation session. So even yesterday I got a call from two, three students that the communicative English classes are about to begin and how will you be starting? Has the session already started? So a lot of inquiries were there from the students. So I said last class was just an orientation and the recording is also available, which you all can view, right? Hope you all would have watched the recording. Those who were absent in the last class, you can watch the recording of the orientation session. I will repost it today. Okay, we have a YouTube recording as you all know. So I will repost the recording of previous class after this class today. And today's class will be posted as a recorded version after 2 o'clock. All right. So this is formally our first communicative English class for 2025-2026. 25-26 academic year-க்கு இன்னைக்கு வந்து நம்ம ஃபார்முலா நம்மளோட communicative English classes start பண்றோம். Okay. So as you all know, we mainly focus on students from class 5th to class 12th. ஃபிஃப்த் ஸ்டாண்டர்ட்லேருந்து டுவெல்த் ஸ்டாண்டர்ட் வரை இருக்கிற ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ்க்கு தான் நம்ம இது மெயினாக ஃபோக்கஸ் பண்ணுறது பட் இட் இஸ் நாட் லிமிட்டட் ஒன்லி டு ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் ஈவன் காலேஜ் ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் கேன் ஆல்சோ ஜாயின் நாட் only limited for school students even college students or PG students can also join that's not an issue or if you want to prepare for an interview and if you are facing some difficulty in communicating in English then you can also join but we will be focusing more on students part. Why? Because we will look into grammar as well as speaking activities. So for elders, it will be beneficial, but we will not be able to give more of what elders are expecting. Because for elders, most of them, they do not require grammar. Am I correct? Elders வந்து நிறைய பேருக்கு கிராமர் தேவையில்லை கிராமர் வேண்டாம் ஸ்பீக்கிங் ஆக்டிவிட்டிஸ் தான் நிறைய வேணும் கேட்பாங்க பட் we have to understand one thing at least without some basic grammar topics, it is not possible to learn this language. அதாவது இப்ப நம்ம ஒரு லாங்குவேஜ் படிக்கிறதுனா we have to know some basic knowledge about the grammar. For example, what is meant by present tense? What is past tense or what is future tense? So these are some basic things that we have to know, right? So without by completely avoiding grammar, it's not possible to learn English. You can learn it by speaking, by practicing. But while speaking, you will come across some doubts. Why we are using is, why we are using was, is எப்படி was ஆச்சு, is எப்படி are எப்படி were ஆச்சு. You will have these questions. அப்ப அந்த questions-க்கெல்லாம் answer கிடைக்கணும்னா, it's a part of our grammar, right? Okay. அப்ப அதனால இப்ப just like I'm telling, if it is a sentence, if it is a statement, you have to put full stop. If it is a question, then you have to put question mark. If it is an exclamatory sentence, you have to put an exclamation mark. Acharya-kuri. Okay. So, what is this? Why? Who formed these rules? So, these rules are what we are studying as grammar. Okay, so grammar is not at all a tough topic. First and foremost thing that I wanted to tell you all in this year is that grammar is not at all a difficult topic. In maths, you learn a lot of formulae. You learn many equations, right? So what you're doing there, you just by heart those equations and then you apply them in the problems. You apply them in the questions that you do. The four basic operations in maths are addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, right? Likewise, you are learning a plus b the whole square, a minus b the whole square, a square minus b square, etc. You learn a lot of equations or formulae like that. So what are you doing there? You are by hearting those formulae. You cannot change the formulae, right? You are by hearting the formulae and you are applying it in the questions. But there is one thing that you have to look into. While you are applying those formulae in the questions, you should understand the question. Okay, if you look at the question, then you must know, okay, இங்க நான் எந்த formula use பண்ணணும்? A plus B whole square இல்ல A minus B whole square இல்ல A square minus B square you should understand it. Similarly, when you are learning English grammar, there are some rules that you have to by heart. Which will not change. You have to by heart. Okay. So there are some rules that you have to by heart. At the same time, when you start speaking, you will have to apply whatever you have studied by hearted. Whatever you studied as theory, you have to apply them in your spoken English. That is in your verbal as well as written communication. What is the difference between verbal communication and written communication? Can someone tell that? Verbal and written, there are two types of communication. Soundarya, are you aware of that?
Sorry, ma'am.
Yeah, what is the difference between verbal and written communication?
Ma'am, verbal communication is the way of speaking, whereas the written communication is in the written form.
Hmm, exactly. So, verbal communication means it involves listening and speaking, whereas written communication involves reading and writing. In the last class, we spoke about four important key skills of communication, right? L, S, R, and W. Listening, speaking, reading, and writing. That is LSRW. Okay, so if someone asks you what is LSRW, it is listening, speaking, reading, and writing. So the first two letters, L and S form a part of verbal communication. Verbal communication na நீங்க பேசுறீங்க, the opposite person is listening to you. Similarly, the opposite person speaks and you are listening. So only listening and speaking is taking place there. But what about written communication? In verbal, L and S are used. In written
R and
communication,
W.
exactly. R and W are used. So you are writing and someone is reading. Similarly, if you get a response from someone in the form of a letter or as a WhatsApp message or as an email, whatever it may be, you are reading it again. So reading and writing form a part of written communication. Alright, so this is the basic thing that you have to understand. There are two types of communication. One is verbal as well as written. And here we will focus more on verbal communication. And once we complete 3 or 4 months of this class, we will also focus on some written communication. For example, how to write a letter, how to write a formal letter as well as an informal letter. Then how to write an email. For email, I will conduct a special class. Okay, don't worry about that. Okay, so in this way, we have to understand the different dimensions of the language. It is not simply that, yeah, I'm attending spoken English class just to improve my speaking skills. Okay. Why you have to improve your speaking skills? Because that is the need of the hour. That is the need of today's world. If you don't know English, you cannot communicate with the world. If you lack English skills, you cannot speak to the world. All right, so that is the importance of this language. And that is the only reason that people call English as the global language of communication. All right. Okay. So officially we are starting today's session. So the first lesson that we are going to learn today is sentences and types of sentences. Okay. So what is meant by a sentence? This is the first question that we are going to look at. What is meant by a sentence? Let us see that. Yes. A group of words put together to get a complete meaning is called a sentence. So, what is a sentence? A group of words put together to get a complete meaning is called a sentence. Okay, let me tell you. You are just taking a group of words and you are forming a sentence. Okay, you are forming a sentence by taking a few words as you like and you are putting it in your own order. Will it become a sentence? Okay, I just want one sentence as an example. Okay, can somebody give an example for me? Just one sentence, any sentence. Yes, Purushothaman, can you give me an example for a sentence?
மேம் புருஷோத்தமன் இல்ல மேம் அவன் கேம்ப் போயிருக்கான் மேம்.
Okay. So can somebody give me an example for a sentence? Charumati, can you give me? And I mean, yeah, Charumati. Can you give an example? Any sentence. You can give any sentence as an example. You have to switch on your mic and speak. Okay, this will be an interactive class. Okay. Yes, what about Archita? ஒரு சென்டென்ஸ்க்கு எக்ஸாம்பிள் கொடுங்க ஏதாவது ஒரு சென்டென்ஸ் சொல்லுங்க இங்கிலீஷ்ல ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் ஐ அம் ஆஸ்கிங்
Miss,
யூ
I am going to Chennai.
okay very good I am going to Chennai okay so this is a normal sentence imagine that now these words in this sentence are now jumbled okay I'm just going to jumble the order of the words in this sentence. So I am going to Chennai. There are 5 words in this sentence. Now let me form it in some other way. Chennai am going to I, or I Chennai going am to, or am Chennai going to I. Okay, so I have interpreted this sentence in different ways. In fact, it is not a sentence at all, but I have interpreted it in a different way. Okay, I have just jumbled the words and I have formed different patterns. Are these called sentences? Are they sentences? நான் இப்ப சொன்ன மாதிரி இல்ல ஆர்டர்ல எல்லாம் சொல்லிட்டேன்னா will it become a sentence? Definitely no. They are not a sentences. They are not sentences at all. Okay, am Chennai is going to, or am I going Chennai to? These are not sentences. So how should the proper sentence be? I am going to Chennai. This is the proper sentence. So it doesn't matter how many words you're choosing and the length of the sentence, or be it in you write it in small letters or capital letters. That doesn't matter. The words that you choose must be in proper order. So, what is a sentence? Coming back to the definition, a group of words put together to get a complete meaning is called a sentence. Or you can also tell it in this way. A group of words put together in a proper order to get a complete meaning is called a sentence. You can either tell it in that way, or as I have given on the screen, a group of words put together to get a complete meaning is called a sentence. This is how a sentence has to be formed. Okay, so now you understood what is meant by a sentence. How are sentences formed? Using words. And how are words formed? Using alphabets. So alphabets are the fundamental unit of the language. Any language. For any language, be it English or Tamil or Malayalam or Hindi, whatever be the language, alphabets are the fundamental units of a language. From alphabets, we form words. And from words, we form sentences. And from sentences, we form paragraphs or articles or essays, etc. Okay. So now coming to the rules to form a sentence. What are the different rules that you have to look at while writing a sentence? The first and foremost rule is sentences always begin with a capital letter. Every sentence, doesn't matter what length the sentence is, irrespective of the length of the sentence or the type of the sentence, என்ன sentence ஆகட்டும், a sentence should always begin with a capital letter. It is mandatory. You have to stick it to your mind. It should not change. It's a static rule. Okay. Now coming to the second rule, sentences end with a full stop, question mark, or exclamation mark. So how do sentences end? Sentences can end with a full stop or question mark or exclamation mark. So based on the type of sentence, statements are those that will end with full stop. Questions are those that will end in question marks. And exclamatory sentences are those that will end in an exclamation mark. Okay, now coming to the third rule. A sentence consists of a subject, verb, and object. Okay, so every sentence, every standard sentence in English will consist of these three parts: subject, verb, and object. Now, what is a subject? What is a verb? And what is an object? Subject means about whom or about what you are speaking in a sentence. யார பத்தி இல்ல எதை பத்தி ஒரு சென்டென்ஸ்ல பேசுறோமோ that is called the subject of the sentence. For example, in the sentence I am going to school, what will be the subject? I am going to school. So you are speaking about yourself. So I is the subject of the sentence. Likewise, every sentence will have one subject, that is compulsory. Now coming to verb. Verbs are called action words. Any action word is called a verb. And it will be the subject that will be performing this particular action. And finally coming to object. In a sentence, after finding out the subject and the verb, what comes after the verb is called the object. So object will be the last part of the sentence. So a standard sentence in English will have these three parts, namely subject, verb, and object. And we shortly call them SVO sentences. They are called SVO sentences. S stands for subject, V stands for verb, and O stands for object. Okay. Now coming to the fourth rule. Some sentences will have only S and V. Yes, it is possible. Some sentences will have only subject and verb. For example, she smiled, he cried, they walked. So here you can see there is only one subject and one verb. There is no object. So SV sentences are the smallest sentences. They are the shortest. Okay. So it is possible for us to write sentences without objects also, but still to get a meaningful context or to get a meaningful idea, we will depend on SVO sentences only. SVO sentences தான் நம்ம காமனா யூஸ் பண்றது. Okay, ஆனா இவ்ளோ ஷார்ட்டான sentences நம்ம சொல்றது ரொம்ப கம்மி. Okay. So I have given two examples here. The first one is the girl looks beautiful. Second one is birds fly. So the first one is an example for an SVO sentence. And the second one is an example for SV sentence. As I told you, SVO means it is the subject, verb, and object. So in the first sentence, the girl looks beautiful. Can somebody identify what is the subject, verb, and object? Yes, Soundarya, please.
Ma'am, the girl is the subject and looks beautiful is the verb.
Actually, the first sentence is it's an SVO sentence. So there will be a verb and an object.
Ma'am, is beautiful is the object?
Yes, it is actually a complement, but for the time
Yes.
being, let us consider as an object. Okay.
Object. Yes, ma'am. Birds fly. Birds is the subject and fly is the verb.
Okay. Yes. So now you can see that the girl looks beautiful. In this sentence, the girl is the subject, looks is the verb, and beautiful is the object. For the time being, consider it as an object. Okay, because actually beautiful is an adjective, right? Beautiful is an adjective. So we consider adjectives as one particular name. With a particular name, we call them, and it is called complement. Okay, complements we will learn in the next class. But for the time being, understand that SVO will have subject, verb, and object. And here, beautiful is the object. Okay, now coming to birds fly. Birds is the subject, fly is the verb. So there is no object in the second sentence. But is there any problem with that? No problem. Birds fly. Okay, it's a meaningful sentence only, no? Birds fly. But if I write it like this, birds fly in the sky. If I write like that, won't it look beautiful? Won't it be more good? Yes, Lakshana?
Ma'am, could you please tell one more time about object?
Yes, sure. Object is something that comes after the verb in a sentence. In a sentence, we have three parts, right? Subject, verb, and object. The first part, mostly the first part will be the subject. Majority of the sentences will have subject in the beginning itself. Okay. Now coming to the second part, that is verb. Verbs are called action words. Actions are verbs and this subject only performs that action. Now coming to object, it will be the last part of a sentence because it comes after the verb. Okay, let me take the sentence that Archita gave me. I am going to school. Okay, in I am going to school, let me ask Soundarya, can you divide it into subject, verb, and object?
Yes, ma'am. I is the subject.
Uh,
Am going is the verb. To school. School is the object.
School
To
is the
school.
object. To school is the object. Very good. So
Object.
here you can see, yeah, we're good. Here you can see that I is the subject. Am going is the verb. Going மட்டும்தானே verb வரும். Am எப்படி வந்தது கேட்பீங்க. அதெல்லாம் நம்ம வழியே படிப்போம். Am is called helping verb. Okay, we have 27 helping verbs in English. எல்லாத்தையுமே நான் ஒரே கிளாஸ்ல சொன்னேன்னா you will get confused. அதனால சில சென்டென்சஸ்ல வந்து helping verbும் action verbும் சேர்ந்து வரும்போது ரெண்டு verbsையும் நம்ம verb எடுத்துக்கணும். Okay, அப்ப am going அது verb. Okay, coming to last part to school. இந்த to school அப்படிங்கிறதுல ஸ்கூலை மட்டும் objectஆ எழுதலாம். இல்லை to school அப்படிங்கிறதையும் objectஆ எழுதலாம். to schoolங்கிறத வந்து நம்ம கொஞ்சம் கூட நீட்டா சொல்ல போனா அது prepositional phrase அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. In some schools, have you heard of that prepositional phrase? I don't know whether in our syllabus it is being taught, but when I was teaching a student from Canada, that boy told me, ma'am, in our school, they don't call it an object, ஸ்கூலை மட்டுமான ஆப்ஜெக்ட்னு சொல்லலாம். ஆனா டு ஸ்கூல் அப்படின்னு இருந்ததுன்னா அது ஒரு ப்ரிப்பசிஷனல் ஃப்ரேஸ். பிகாஸ் டு அப்படிங்கிறது ஒரு ப்ரிப்பசிஷன் இல்லையா? அப்ப டு ஸ்கூல் அப்படிங்கிறது அதோட ப்ரிப்பசிஷனல் ஃப்ரேஸ் அப்படின்னாங்க. பட் ஓகே, வி டோன்ட் நீட் டு கன்ஃபியூஸ் வித் தட். ஓகே, ஜஸ்ட் கன்சிடர் இட் as the object. அப்ப to school அப்படிங்கிறது it is the object. Alright, so this is how we have to classify sentences. Okay, now what I was telling was birds fly அப்படின்னு இருக்கு இல்லையா? Here you can see, if I write birds fly in the sky, won't it look more beautiful?
Yes, ma'am.
It is not only beautiful, it is more meaningful as well. Birds fly அப்படிங்கறத விட birds fly in the sky இல்லனா birds fly high அப்படி எல்லாம் சொல்லிட்டுனா it will be more good. So if I write birds fly high, what will be the object or the complement here?
Hi.
Hi.
Exactly. High will be the object or the complement. Mostly we consider it as the complement because describe பண்ற words இருந்ததுன்னா நம்ம அது objectனு சொல்ல மாட்டோம். It is rather better to call them complement. Okay, அப்போ ஆப்ஜெக்ட்டுக்கும் காம்ப்ளிமெண்ட்டுக்கும் நடுவில் சின்ன டிஃபரன்ஸ் இருக்கு. தட் வி வில் லேர்ன் இன் டீடைல் இன் த நெக்ஸ்ட் கிளாஸ். ஆப்ஜெக்ட் அப்படிங்கும்போது இட் இஸ் ஜஸ்ட் த நவுன், whereas complements are not nouns. Complements are either adjectives or adverbs. Okay, இப்போ பார்ட்ஸ் ஆஃப் ஸ்பீச் தெரிஞ்சதுன்னா நமக்கு இந்த ஆப்ஜெக்ட் காம்ப்ளிமெண்ட் எல்லாம் ஈஸியா தெரிஞ்சிடும். Okay, so parts of speech is a topic that is a bit long because there are 8 parts of speech and on each day we can cover only one part of speech. Above we want 2 months to complete parts of speech because we get only 4 Sundays a month. Appo 8 Sundays வேணும் parts of speech படிச்சு முடிக்கணும்னா. Sometimes we also require 9 Sundays because pronoun and all is a long topic. There are 10 types of pronouns. Okay, so this is really an interesting journey, students. Once you start attending the classes on all Sundays, you will definitely understand that English language is very vast. At the same time, once you start learning this language, you will not leave it. When I was in my final year, okay, during my college days, it was the 2020 COVID time and all the classes were online. Okay, so grammar was also an ancillary subject for us. I don't know, was it my mistake or was it the mistake of the syllabus? I don't know. The teacher used to teach very well, but I don't used to understand many of the concepts in grammar. So I used to think, if at all the classes were offline, definitely I would have understood them. But since the classes were online, it was very difficult for me to attend. But now you are also attending online class only. ஆனா எனக்கு அந்த ஏஜ்ல 20 இயர்ஸ்ல வந்து எனக்கு இப்ப இருக்கிற இந்த ஒரு ஃபோக்கஸ், இந்த ஒரு அட்டென்ஷன் இல்ல இந்த ஒரு இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட் எனக்கு அந்த டைம்ல இருக்கல. அண்ட் நாட் ஓன்லி தட், லெட் மீ ஆல்சோ டெல் யூ ஒன் திங். இந்த மாதிரி பிபிடிஸ் எல்லாம் போட்டு டீச் பண்றது இட் வாஸ் லெஸ். PPTs were not so colorful. As I told you, I will never criticize my teacher. She used to do her best. But the syllabus was very dry. ஓகே, ஸோ ஒரு ஃபண்டமெண்டலா ஆரம்பிச்சு போறதுக்கு ஒரு ஒரு பேஷியன்ஸ் அவங்களுக்கும் இருக்கல. ஸோ ஷி ஆல்சோ யூஸ் டு ரஷ் த டாபிக் அ லிட்டில் பிட். ஓகே, ஸோ வாட் ஹேப்பன்ட், வி வர் கன்ஃபியூஸ்ட். இப்போ வந்து சென்டென்சஸ் இஸ் த பேசிக் டாபிக் தட் யூ ஹேவ் டு ஸ்டடி. After that, you have to go to the next one. So only if you know the base, it will be easy for you to learn the parts of speech. All of a sudden, if I start parts of speech, will you be able to understand? I don't know how many of you will understand. Okay. So that was the reason that was the major issue that I faced during my final year. But later, when I started studying by sitting alone, by watching some, with the help of some guide, with the help of some quick resources, when I started learning, I understood that this is the way grammar has to be taught. Okay, so when I was preparing these PPTs and the materials, I myself learned the topic first, and only then I'm teaching this to you. Okay, so to teach grammar includes both learning as well as to mastering the skill, and then only delivering the skill is possible. Right? So that is a journey, and this journey took 4 years for me. 4 years எடுத்தது இந்த journey வர. Okay, I hope I would have told you about how I entered this field of teaching. It was initially by teaching my friend. I used to just video call my friend or audio call my friend. She She's from a village called Annur in Coimbatore. And she's again from Annur, she has to go inside to Pogalur. Okay. So this girl, she was very keen to learn grammar. So I simply used to call her and teach. The reason is there were two benefits from that. First benefit is she used to learn. That is, she studies. Second use, I will also study. Okay, first thing, அவளும் படிப்பா. Second வந்து நானும் படிப்பேன். தனியா உட்கார்ந்து கிராமர் படிக்க சொன்னா I used to sleep. That was my nature. But if I have to sit and prepare and teach another person, I was interested in doing that. ஒரு கம்பெனி இருக்கும் இல்லையா? So that is the reason I'm insisting you all to attend the class. தனியா உட்கார்ந்து கிராமர் படிக்க போர் அடிக்கத்தான் செய்யும். ஓகே, ஆனா ஒரு டீச்சரோட கைடன்ஸ்ல போகும்போது வீக்லி ஒரு 1 கிளாஸ் சண்டே நீங்க அட்டென்ட் பண்ணினீங்கன்னா இட் வில் பி ஈஸி. அட் த சேம் டைம் உங்களுக்கு வந்து ஒரு இன்டராக்ஷன் கிடைக்கும். யூ வில் கம் டு நோ அ லாட் ஆஃப் திங்ஸ். ஆல்ரைட், நான் வந்து பெரிய ஞானி எல்லாம் கிடையாது, அப்படியெல்லாம் இல்லை. Okay, I was also a student like you, now into the field of teaching. That's it. So my desire is to impart the knowledge that I have gained. All right. Yes. So now coming back, rearrange the sentences. So there are 5 sentences and they are in the jumbled order. Now I want you all to rearrange the sentences. Okay. So each one can do one sentence. Okay, let me start with Rakshan.
They are jumping rope.
Very good. They are jumping rope. Yes. Next is for Soundarya.
This is blue car or this car is blue.
Actually, this car is blue is the right answer because this is blue car is not a complete sentence. We have to use the article a. So it has to be this is a blue car or this is the blue car. Since there is no article here, we can opt for this car is blue. All right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So blue is the complement. Am I right?
Blue. Yeah, this car is blue. So blue will be the complement. Complement
Complement.
is actually
Yes, ma'am.
it's actually an adjective. Colors are always adjectives, right? So we can consider it as the complement. Good. Okay, now moving to next one, Lakshana.
The cat is sleeping.
Very good. The cat is sleeping. Lakshana, did you understand what you asked me earlier? I was clarifying the doubt. You suddenly left the meet.
Yes, Mama. I
Oh.
understood, Ma'am.
Okay. Okay, fine. Yes, next is for Shiva Priya.
This bird is on the branch.
Okay, Shiva Priya, you forgot your name.
Ma'am, my name is G. Sadhanarannamal.
Sadhana?
Yes, ma'am.
Sadhana. Okay, okay, Sadhana. Fine. And one more person has raised hand. Who is that? Let me check. Soundarya, Rakshan, Shivapriya. Yeah, Purushothaman. Okay, Sai. Yes, Sai, you can also do that. Last one.
She is reading a book.
Very good. She is reading a book. Okay, super. So here you can see that I have given 5 sentences in a jumbled order. In fact, they are not sentences at all. I have simply jumbled the words and I have given 5 non-sentences. So you all made it into proper sentence. So from this we can understand that sentences are not just group of words. It is how you write them in a proper order. Only if the words are written in a proper order, we can call them sentences. Right? Now, these are some examples for sentences. I am a teacher. This is a meaningful sentence. She is a dancer. Again, it's a meaningful sentence. What is your name? This is a sentence, but the difference is the first 2 sentences were statements, but this is a question. Next, did Ram kill Ravan? Yes, again, this is a meaningful question. Please maintain silence. This is also a meaningful sentence. And the 5th one, please maintain silence, ends in full stop. But it is not called a statement. First 2 sentences are called statements. But what about the 5th one? Please maintain silence. It is actually an instruction or a command. So such sentences are called, they are called imperative sentences. So this is what now we are going to learn here. Sentences and types. Okay. So basically there are 4 types of sentences, but I have included one more type and I have made it 5 in total. So let's see what are the assertive sentences, interrogative sentences, imperative sentences, exclamatory sentences, and finally positive and negative sentences. Okay, so each sentence is important. So let us try to cover all of them together. If not possible, we will cover the first 3 types today. Okay, so let us see what are assertive sentences. So assertive sentences assert a statement or a fact. Okay, so students from Kerala already they have completed 10th standard and they know that. I hope you know that you had this as types of sentences for your in your textbook. You didn't have it for the exam, but you had this in your textbook under the grammar part, right? I think Dia or Shabna will know that. We learned the 4 types of sentences last year, right? Okay. So what are assertive sentences? Assertive sentences assert a statement or a fact. Asserting means they declare. They just announce. They declare or assert a statement or a fact. Since these sentences assert or declare a statement or a fact, they are also called declarative sentences. So assertive sentences has another name, that is declarative sentences. In some textbooks you will call it declarative sentences. Okay, assertive sentences, this is how we generally learn, but both the names are same. Okay, and what is important about this type is assertive sentences end with a full stop. All the statements will end with a full stop. அப்ப full stopல முடியக்கூடிய sentences எல்லாம் நம்ம என்ன பேர்ல கூப்பிடணும்? Statements அப்படின்னு சொல்லணும். Full stopல end ஆகிற எந்த ஒரு sentenceம் it is a statement. For example, my name is Annapurni. I am going to school. She is my friend. I love chocolates. All these are statements. So for example, I am an Indian. This is a statement. So this is an assertive sentence because it is a normal statement that ends with a full stop. All right. So now moving to the second type, interrogative sentences. How do you pronounce them? Interrogative. Interrogative. Okay. You have to pronounce that word properly. Interrogative sentences. So what are interrogative? பேர்லயே வந்து meaning இருக்கு. Interrogate. To interrogate means to question. So, interrogative sentences are questions. So, they are those that express a question. So, since they are questions, we can understand that interrogative sentences will end with a question mark. Now, one more thing, how to form interrogative sentences or how to form questions. There are 2 types of questions that are commonly used in English. They are called WH questions or yes or no questions. So interrogative sentences can be either WH questions or yes or no questions. What is meant by WH question? Questions that begin with WH words. Okay, now what are WH words? There are totally 9 WH words. Yes. Can someone name them? 1 or 2?
What,
which, whom,
Hmm.
who,
when,
What,
how,
when,
where, which.
Very good, very good. So what, which, when, where, why, who, whose, whom, and how. So totally there are 9 question words and they are called WH because they begin with W and H. Except how all the 8 of them, remaining 8 will begin with W and H. Okay, actually there are 14 question words. 14 are there because there are 5 more additionally. How many, how much, how far, how long, and how often. So we can consider them also as questions, but they are question phrases. Two words வரதுனால question phrases அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவோம். Fundamentally 9 question words தான் நமக்கு இருக்கு. That is what ல இருந்து how வரைக்கும். Always start with what and end with how. அப்ப படிக்கிறதுக்கு ஈஸியா இருக்கும். What, which, when, where, why, who, whose, whom, how. அந்த ஆர்டர்ல போலாம். சரியா? So interrogative sentences begin either with a question word or auxiliary verb, also known as helping verbs. So what are auxiliary verbs or helping verbs? They are 27 in number. So I will just tell the list of auxiliary verbs now. Just listen to it. Okay, maybe in our 5th class or 6th class, we will learn what are auxiliary verbs. Okay, Auxiliary verbs are like this: is, am, are, was, were, do, does, did, has, have, had, can, could, will, would, shall, should, may, might, must, ought to, used to, need to, dare, be, been, and being. நீங்களே எண்ணி பாருங்க 27 வரும். Okay. Is, am, are, was, were, do, does, did, has, have, had, can, could, will, would, shall, should, may, might, must, ought to, used to, need to, dare, be, been, and being. So these are the 27 auxiliary verbs used in English. And using these auxiliary verbs, we can form questions. For example, are you ready? Will you help me? Can I call you? These are called yes or no questions. Because for these questions, we can answer either in yes or no. We can answer in just one word. Either you can tell yes or no. For example, are you ready? Yes or no. That's all. The answer can be done in a word. That's why we call them yes or no questions. But for WH questions, we cannot answer in a single word. We have to answer in the form of a sentence only. Okay, so understand that interrogative sentences are questions, and we can form questions in two ways, either using WH question words or auxiliary verbs. So let's look at the examples. First, what is your name? This is the WH question. Do you know French? This is the yes or no question. Okay, so now let me take you to the list of question words. These are the list of question words on the left side. Please look at it. What, which, when, where, why, who, whose, whom, and how. Okay, and yes, these are the auxiliary verbs here. You can see that auxiliary verbs are verbs that help the main verb in different contexts. They are also called helping verbs because they help the main verb. And there are 27 helping verbs in English, and the list goes like this. Okay, so this is the list of auxiliary verbs. Using some of them, we cannot form questions. So we will just consider them as auxiliary verbs, but we can't form questions. For example, using dare or using be, been, and being and all, we cannot form questions. We can form, but not by using them in the beginning. You can use them in the middle. Okay, so these are the list of helping verbs.
Ma'am, some of it are models, ma'am.
Yes, auxiliary verbs are divided into two, primary and model. Okay, so primary will be first 17 and model will be the remaining 12. Okay, that's how you get 27. Okay, so this is something that we will learn about auxiliary verbs in detail. Okay, model verbs will start from this can, could. Can, could, will, would, shall, should, may, might, must, ought to, used to, need to. These are the 12 model verbs. All right, good. Now, these are some sentences using question words. Okay, so one person can read the questions that begins with WH. I want somebody new. Adila, can you read the questions? The WH questions. Are you there, Adila?
Yes.
Adila, your voice is breaking. I can't hear you clearly. Okay, you read the first 5 questions, Adila.
Ma'am?
You just read the
Yes.
first one. Okay. Just read the first 5 questions. Adila, I'm very sorry I can't hear you. Okay. Let me call someone else. Okay. You can try in the next time. Okay. So now, Shani, Dia, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Dia, please read the first 5 questions.
Okay, ma'am. What is your name? What do you do? Where do you live? Where do you study? When did you come?
Okay, fine. The next 5 can be read by Lakshana. Lakshana, please read quickly.
When is your exam? What are you late? Why are you
Mm-mm.
late? Why is it so?
Hmm.
Who is the Chief Minister of Kerala?
Okay, that's enough. Okay, just 6 to 10 is enough. Okay, so next, let me call Shivapriya. Sadhana 10 to 15. I'm sorry, 11 to 15.
How is it? How is the movie? Whose book is whose book is this? Whom did you meet? Whom did she marry?
Okay, fine. So here you can see what is the difference between who, whose, and whom. Okay, many of you have this confusion. What is the difference? Who, most of you will know what is who. Yaru. Yaru on Malayalam we say aru. Okay. And what is whom and whose? Okay. Whose means yarudedu. In Malayalam we say arudedu. Okay. And if it is whom, Yara. Yara meet paninenga. Whom did you meet? In Malayalam we say Are meet chedu. Ni Are meet chedu. Are kandumutti. Whom did you meet? So this is the difference between who, whose and whom. Three are different, totally different. First one is Yaru, second one is Yarudedu, and third one is Yara. In Malayalam we say Aru, Arudedu, Arude, Are. Are, Arudedu, Are. All right. Yes. Now coming to sentences with helping verbs. So these are some list of yes or no questions. Okay. So we'll divide it 5, and each one can read. Soundarya, you can read the first 5. Yeah.
Is this your book? Am I looking good? Are you ready for the program? Was the movie good? Where were you absent yesterday?
Okay. 5. Next section 6 to 10.
Can you help me? Could you drop me at the office? Will you marry me? Would you like to have some coffee? Shall we go for a movie?
Very good. So just think in your mind, okay, இதுக்கு எல்லா ஆன்சர் வந்து எஸ் நோ இப்படி கொடுத்தா போதும். நீங்களே பாருங்க எல்லாம் அப்படிதான் இருக்கு. Shall we go for a movie? Yes na okay போலாம். No, sorry. அது sorry சொல்லாட்டா கூட பரவாயில்ல. No. அப்படின்னா you have straight away given the answer. But mostly we try to answer in the form of a sentence. I always recommend my students the same thing. Please don't answer in one word. Please answer as a sentence. Okay, that is the formal way to answer a question. Okay, even if your parents or your teachers or friends ask you something, answer in the form of a sentence. Let it no, don't make it an elaborate sentence. Just in 3 or 4 words you can answer. Okay. Yes. இப்போ நான் கேக்குறேன் நாளைக்கு மூவிக்கு வரியா சினிமாக்கு வரியா இல்ல அப்படிங்கறத விட இல்ல நான் வரல அப்படின்னா it will be more polite also. It will look polite. It sounds good. Okay. Yes. Next 5, 11 to 15. Sai, can you read from 11 to 15?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Should I eat it? May I come in? Might she do that? Must she be here?
Out.
Out I be there? Do
Very
you
good.
know?
Porum. Enough. Very good. 11, 5 sentences. Okay, very good. Now, yes, next one, Archita, you can read from 16 to 20. Are you there, Archita? Okay, Charumati, can you read from 16 to 21? Please respond quickly,
Do
students.
you know English? Does he like the cake? Did
Curry.
she inform you? Hurry, okay, ma'am. Did she inform you? Was he comes? Have you finished your lunch? Had they gone?
Okay. Archita, can you hear me?
Yes, miss.
I called you, but you did not respond. Okay, now we can read these questions 22 to 27. Please read them.
How dare is she? Do you used to walk every day? Does he need to practice cycling? Let it be there. Has it been 2 days since you received rain? Is it
Received.
been
It's not received, it is
received?
received.
Is it being too hot in India?
Okay. RECEIVED is called received. Receive பண்றதுன்னா என்னது? நம்ம ஒருத்தர்கிட்ட இருந்து ஒண்ணு வாங்கிக்கிறது. அப்போ has it been 2 days since you received rain? னா உங்களுக்கு ரெயின் கிடைச்சு 2 நாள் ஆச்சா? Okay. Has it been 2 days since you received rain? Received. It's not received. Okay. So you can see that this is how yes or no questions are formed. In the last 6 questions, you can see dare, used to, need to, be, been, being. இதெல்லாம் வந்து beginningல வருது இல்ல. As I told you, they are coming in the middle of the sentence. So we can't form yes or no questions using these words directly. We can only use them in the middle. Okay, like dare, used to, need to, be, been, and being. They will come only in the middle. Okay, so now this is all about the first two types of sentences. Now moving to the
Ma'am,
yes,
ma'am, I can't understand the 15th one, ma'am.
which is 15. Ought I be there?
Mm,
Okay.
yes,
Ought,
ma'am.
ought is an alternative usage for must. Okay, so ought means it is very similar to the meaning called must. Maybe I can tell it is more stronger than must. Okay, so ought I be there means must I be there? Nangi irukkanuma. That is what you are meaning. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, welcome. So now moving to the third type, that is imperative sentences. Okay, so imperative sentences express suggestions, commands, orders, warnings, requests, and advice. So what are the uses? You can express a suggestion or a command or an order, warnings, requests, and advice. They consist of verb and object. Subject is there, but it is hidden. We don't write the subject in imperative sentences. Only verb and object can be seen. When you look at the examples, you will understand that. And what is important about imperative sentences is they are usually short in length. Yes, imperative sentences are short in length, and imperative sentences also end in full stop. Okay, full stop la end பண்றது first நம்ம யார பார்த்தோம்? Which type of sentence ends in full stop?
Declarative sentence.
Declarative sentences end in full stop. But imperative sentences also end in full stop. But what is the difference between assertive and imperative? You should know the difference. Assertive sentences are statements, but imperative sentences are commands or requests or warnings or suggestions or advice. Okay, and they are usually short in length. They cannot be long like assertive. They will be short in length, but they will end in full stop only. Okay, for example, please open the door. Here you can see it is a request. Please open the door. So you can see open is the verb. The door is the object. Where is the subject? Please is not a subject. Okay, it is just a word that you are using for requesting. So just forget this word. Open is the verb. The door is the object. So where is the subject here? There is no subject. So you don't use subject, but it means that you are asking somebody to do this. You don't write the subject in the sentence. Okay. Similarly, obey my words. Here, obey is the verb. My words is the object. Again, this is also an imperative sentence. You can see the length is very short, but they are ending in full stop only. Okay. So finally coming to exclamatory, I think exclamatory sentences can be discussed in the next class because exclamatory and positive and negative sentences are important for us. Just like this assertive, interrogative, and imperative and all. Okay. We will just do one thing. We have 10 more minutes. Just look into some speaking activities. Okay. I will just take you to an activity. As I had promised you, I will spare 10 to 15 minutes for speaking activity in all the class. And this is mainly for people who are weak in speaking. Okay. Those who are very weak in speaking can do this. Can you see the screen?
Sam.
Yeah, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. So there are three pictures in this file. Okay. This is the first picture. So look at the photo and answer the questions. This is the task. Okay. So I will call out the names. You will have to answer. Okay, because I know who is good at speaking and who is weak in speaking. Okay, so I will call out the names and you can try. Yes, the first one, first question. What can you see in the photo? Sadhana, can you answer?
I can see in the photo is the nature.
Okay, so when you're answering, you have to tell, I can see nature in the photo. Okay, you have to tell, I can see the nature in the photo. Okay,
Okay, ma'am.
okay, yes. Next question is for Lakshana. Where do you think they are going to?
I think they are going to school by walking.
By walk, not walking, by walk. Okay, okay. So
Okay,
actually,
fine.
for the very good. So for the first question, what can you see in the photo? You don't only see nature. You not only see nature, you also see two boys, right? You forgot to tell that. Okay, so you can tell like this. I can see two boys walking along a forest. You can try like that. Okay. Yes. Next one is for Archita. Third question. Are they brothers or friends? What do you think so?
Yes, the brothers are friends.
That's what I'm asking you. Are they brothers or friends? What do you think? உனக்கு என்ன தோணுது அவங்க பிரதர்ஸ்னு தோணுதா ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ்னு தோணுதா
Friends. The
ஆன்சர்
brother
ஆன்சர் as a sentence சென்டென்ஸா சொல்லுங்க
the
சென்டென்ஸா ஆ
the friend
இல்லம்மா இவங்க பிரதர்ஸா ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸான்னு கேக்குறேன் அப்ப இது எப்படி ஆன்சர் பண்ணலாம் உங்களுக்கு எது தோணுதோ அது சொல்லுங்க சென்டென்ஸா சொல்லுங்க
they were friends.
they are friends okay yes in which class you are studying
7th to 8th.
okay so you have to improve your speaking skills Archita okay
Okay.
okay yes next question what is the weather like Charumati guys please make it fast Charumati are you there
Yes, ma'am.
yeah please answer the fourth question
What is the weather like?
Hmm.
Is the sun rise?
It's a sunrise how do you know that
I just think.
you just guessed okay so you can tell
Yes.
so you can tell the weather is sunny. Okay, because we don't
Yes.
see
Yes, ma'am.
sunrise. In the picture we don't see sunrise, no? So you can simply tell the weather is sunny. Okay.
Sunny.
Okay. The next question is for Devan. What's your name, Devan? Is it Devan only?
My name is Avantika, ma'am.
Avantika.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, is Avantika. So you can just answer the first question. How old are the boys?
I think they are maybe 7.
Okay, I think they are 7 years old. Okay, but I think no wonder maybe adu vendam. You can just think, you can just tell, I think they are 7 years old. Okay, good.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, next is for Lakshmi. Are you there? Lakshmi, what's your name? Okay, next is for Leah. Okay, the sixth question. How are they feeling? What do you think after looking at the picture?
I think they are really happy.
Very good. You think they are really happy. Okay. Leah is
Yeah, yeah.
from Malappuram?
Kerala. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay. I understood from the slang. Okay, good. Okay, fine. And next is for Mumtaz. Seventh question. What are they wearing?
They are wearing school uniform.
Okay, but it doesn't look like uniform, no? Both of them are wearing different colors, right?
Yeah.
So what can we tell? You can simply tell what they are wearing. Okay. Okay. Any other one? Parameshwari, who was that?
Ma'am, he's my brother.
Okay. Okay. So ask your brother. No, what are they wearing?
Pant and shirt.
Pants and shirt. Very good. Okay. So you can tell pants. எப்பவுமே ஒருத்தரோடதானாலும் நம்ம pants அப்படின்னு தான் சொல்லணும். Because pants is always singular and plural also. ஏன்னா ரெண்டு கால் போடுறதுக்கு நமக்கு ஸ்பேஸ் இருக்கு இல்லையா அதனால சிமிலர்லி ஸ்பெக்டக்கிள்ஸ் ஏன் ஸ்பெக்டக்கிள்னு சொல்றது இல்லை வி ஆல்வேஸ் சே ஸ்பெக்டக்கிள்ஸ் பிகாஸ் ஸ்பெக்டக்கிள்ஸ் வில் ஹாவ் சி டூ லென்சஸ் இருக்கிறதுனால இட் இஸ் ஆல்வேஸ் ப்ளூரல் ஸ்பெக்டக்கிள்ஸ் ரெண்டு கண்ணுக்கு ரெண்டு லென்ஸ் similarly there is another word no what is that scissors scissors is always singular as well as plural what is the plural for scissors na scissors tha okay yes and yeah we have completed the first picture guys if you cooperate we can do one more picture okay we will do it quickly fast look at the photo and answer the questions the first question goes to Dakshan what can you see in the photo
A family after going to shopping.
okay fine the next question is for Diya where are they going fast please
I think they are going our home.
they are going to their home അവരുടെ വീട്
Okay.
they are going to their home our home എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ നമ്മളുടെ വീട് so their home അവരുടെ വീട് okay next is for Shivapriya do they look happy or sad
They look happy.
very good okay Soundarya how many children do they have
They have two children. One is a son and another one is daughter.
okay very good Sai who is the youngest in the picture the daughter or son
Daughter.
daughter very good daughter is the youngest very good next one who is taller the man or the woman Adila
Man is taller.
the man is taller so you can tell like this the man is taller than the woman okay comparative degree of adjective okay adjectives പഠിച്ചില്ലേ നമ്മള് you remember right
Okay, ma'am.
okay very good yes next question is for last one is for Prakshana are they wearing different t-shirts Prakshana are they wearing different t-shirts Prakshana is not answering okay the last one is for who will I call now Charumati are they wearing different t-shirts
No, ma'am. 4 members are white t-shirts, same t-shirts.
4 members are wearing white t-shirts. Main word
Wearing
marketting.
white t-shirts.
Wearing white t-shirts. Very good. All right, guys. So now it's 11 o'clock. So yes, we completed 2 pictures successfully. So there is one more picture in that screen. Okay, I will present it in the next class. And in the next class, we will be continuing the types of sentences, exclamatory and positive and negative sentences along with this picture activity. Okay, so thank you for joining. So how was the class? Can you just share your feedback?
Ma'am, today's class is really interesting.
Thank you so much. Okay, any other feedback? You can just share your ideas.
It was good and exciting. Exactly.
Exciting. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Adila.
Very
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Okay, fine. So we will meet
The
on
class was
next.
very interactive.
Thank you, Rakshan. Interaction will come only if you all support. If only with your cooperation we can make it interactive. Otherwise, it will not at all be interactive. So you all need to be active in the class. Okay. So thank you, students. Meet you all on next Sunday. Take care. Happy weekend. Thank you. Thank you, Shivapriya. Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Ta-ta. Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.